So, good morning or good afternoon, Debbie and Emma, and welcome to our series of our chats with our clients. So, Debbie, obviously, I've known you for the longest, and I think you started training in 2006.
Yeah.
And Emma, as Debbie's daughter, you've been training a little bit more recently, but it'd be really interesting to hear what both your stories are. So maybe if we can start with Debbie. Debbie, what was life like before you started training, and what was your prompt to approach us to start training with us?
I'm a very lazy person when it comes to doing anything physical. Like I've tried to join gyms and stuff before and just paid for it and never went basically. And a friend of mine suggested coming to you because if I've paid for my sessions with you and you will hound me, I know. So I will do those things that you tell me to do. um, and I needed to get fit. I was obviously getting older. My children were, full-time school and stuff. So by that time, I had time to do something for myself. And I started seeing you 2 days a week.
That's right.
And the rest is history.
So when you describe yourself as a lazy person, which I know you are not, anything but a lazy person, Debbie. But what was it about maybe going to the gym that put you off? And what was the difference with maybe having that appointment with one person?
I think I didn't really know what I was doing, even if I went to a public gym and there was obviously instructors there and stuff. You don't get the benefit, to be honest. And there was no one to tell me I was doing it right or wrong. And having you prompting me and telling me why I'm doing this and how to use equipment properly, it just makes such a big difference. We can all say we've had a workout, but having somebody tell you you've done it in the correct way is far different. So the benefits of coming to you were 100 times better than any gym I could have gone to.
Well, that's great to hear. And it's lovely and great that you've kind of still with us, and we're still doing it and still evolving and changing things and adapting to what you need.
Yeah.
So
That's the other thing, doing it on your own in a gym is you can't progress or change things because how would you know, really?
thanks, Debbie. So Emma, so obviously we haven't trained for such a long time, but what was your prompting to take up some training?
Well, I think mainly it was mum. She was like, you know what, you can go see Paula as well. I think it really helped you. I've always been like conscious about my weight and my fitness level. I never liked PE at school. It wasn't something I really enjoyed that much because I didn't know how to enjoy it. I was always self-conscious. So finding like exercise in a different way with you, it kind of gave me a lot more confidence and more like, I don't know, I just found it a lot more fun. And we got to like do what I like, talk to you about what I liked, and we got to work on things that I wanted to work on. So yeah, that's kind of, yeah.
Okay, so did you feel, in comparison to say school exercise, which is everybody's doing the same thing, you're in a curriculum where you don't have any choice, you have no control over the decision making about what you do.
Yeah.
So coming to a trainer who you felt listened to you and heard about the things that you wanted to work on. So did you feel it was helpful to be part of that decision making process?
Yeah, definitely.
That's great to hear. Well, I'm really pleased to hear that. So for both of you, what do you feel like your initial thoughts were when you both started training? Maybe Emma, you can answer that first.
Well, I've known you for a while, so I wasn't that nervous about like starting up. Like, oh, like, are we gonna get along or anything like that? But for me, it was just like how it was the rush of endorphins and how like almost strong it made me feel. Like when I first started, I was obviously nervous, but yeah, it made me feel a lot better about liking exercise.
That's brilliant to hear. And when you talked about confidence, in what way has it helped your confidence?
Um, because it's made me feel like I'm doing something towards my body and I'm like doing something good for myself and something healthy and positive. And it's kind of it gives me a way to control like how I look and um, yeah, it just makes me feel strong and healthy.
Good. That's great. And what about you, Debbie? Can you recall what your initial uh, thoughts were about training and what effect did it have on you sort of in the first few years?
It made me realise I could do these things, and it was you're very much a good motivator, and you're great to talk to because I have a problem with something and outside of the gym or whatever, and we talk it through, but we're still working towards what I needed for me. And it was always my own space. You know, my one-to-one with you is always, and I got a lot out of that because day-to-day life is, you know, you sort your children out, you cook meals, but that was always my hour with you was my hour.
Yeah,
So it gave me a confident boost, I think.
brilliant. And do you find that hour still is really valuable to you, even though I know obviously because of the last year we're training you together at home,
Yeah,
but do you still feel like that hour out is still important?
massively, massively. I mean, especially in the last year, um, you're the only part of our week that is our routine.
Yeah, yeah, but I understand that. I think that's a similar thing for a lot of people who are at home, and that we can't go out, we can't operate in our normal way, can we? And um, having a bit of structure is really important.
Yeah, massively.
So so Debbie, just sort of going back a little bit as well. I recall you had back issues, didn't you, when we first started training?
Yes.
And can you recall sort of what we did initially to help with that?
I remember doing wall angels quite a lot. Yeah, and basically strengthening my back and my core needed to be strengthened as well. So I got into sort of a slouch that I think you took a photograph of me when I first came to the gym.
Yeah,
I was a slouchy, but obviously my posture's changed. You know, without
massively. Yeah, good. So obviously things have changed in the past year. So how do you feel that your training has been adapted while you've been training at home?
luckily, in the first lockdown, I got hold of some weights and things, and we've trained with you through the whole thing. We've kept going, and it's really helped, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And do you think that going forward it means that, say for example, we've just had some snow, and in previous years we wouldn't have been able to train because you wouldn't have been able to get to the studio?
No,
And do you feel learning how to train on the screen has sort of changed things again? So it means that maybe we won't be missing sessions.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of solidified the fact that like you don't need to have all like fancy equipment or go to the gym. Like as long as you've got you on the laptop, we can get our workout in and it's fine.
That's great. And we've had to be, quite inventive. And I think we've in this lockdown especially, we've really settled on a bit of a routine that seems to be working really well. And this morning we've done a new flexibility routine that I can see you're gaining the benefits from that. So how do you feel working with this new routine that we've got on a Monday and a Friday? How's that working out for you?
I really like, it's a really good start to the week on Monday to do our flexibility. It's something I look forward to every week. It's like, oh, it's Monday, it's fun, we get to sit down for an hour and just stretch. Makes you feel so good afterwards, because like whether you're like stressed or like pent up, you can just relax.
Yeah, I think that's the mental side of it. It's helping us stay sane.
Yeah. We have a more high energy workout on a Friday with skipping.
Yes.
And stuff like that, which really helps obviously to get the blood pumping and sets you up for a good weekend.
Yeah. And
I'm motivated to do other things afterwards as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So Monday's flexibility, we're really focusing on abdominal work on a Monday as well. And how are you feeling that's having an effect?
I definitely can feel my core getting stronger, definitely, especially with the slow downs and fast ups. They get easier every week. Yeah. And that kind of like, I feel like once...
Don't tell Paula that, she'll make it harder.
Well, I hate to say it, but there are, obviously, you know, I'm learning with King Sport International, and I can tell you there are a lot of progressions. So, so there's a way to go, but I can see week on week that as we're doing them, we're repeating them, you're getting stronger and stronger, and your abdominals are definitely getting stronger. So that's great to see.
And I feel like once your abs are stronger, like it translates to a lot in the rest of your life. Like you'll stop having back problems. You'll just be able to do a little bit more, feel a little bit like pull yourself up higher. Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, that's what all this is about, isn't it? It's being able to transfer everything you do in the training to your everyday life.
Yeah. No,
so that's great.
We're not moving around the same way as we would do normally, and I feel quite sedentary otherwise. You know, it's not like the summer when we were locked down and could go out for long walks. It's not so pleasant at the moment, but it's getting better.
Yeah, well, hopefully spring is just around the corner and we can start to get outside a little bit more as well.
Yeah.
So talking about sort of how it transfers to your everyday life, where would you both like to see your health and well-being, say in sort of the next 5 years time?
I think I love training. I'd like to keep doing it throughout uni in some sort of capacity, but maybe working towards like an event or something. Like I'm not a good runner or anything, but maybe I'd like to be able to like run a distance or something. That would be really cool.
That's a great goal. Yeah. Fantastic goal. And what about you, Debbie? What would you want to see yourself in 5 years in health wise?
Just mainly being healthy and not having any back issues. And I know for a fact if I stopped doing my training, then I'd go back to having problems. A woman of my age has obviously got to think about going through the menopause and everything else, and it's not easy, and it's you have to look after yourself. So hopefully 5 years time I'll still be.
You can be a woman of a certain age with
only your daughter. And then I guess just finally, we've also really thought in this lockdown about goal setting every week.
Yeah.
And thinking about things that you can achieve that are achievable, and How's that helped in this particular lockdown, which is now we're in our 7th week?
It gave us a focus, didn't it?
Yeah, because obviously there's not much motivation, and it's hard to motivate yourself in a lockdown. So like having those talks each week with you about where we're going to go for the next week or the next month, it really helps like put it in your brain. And also because we've made the deal with you about what we're going to do, you have more incentive because you don't want to let you down.
Yeah.
So which we didn't do this morning, did we? So what are the goals going to be this week? Because I know we've focused on really making sure we're staying hydrated, getting our water in, being creative. So what sort of things can we work towards this week?
I feel like mine every week is always drink more water, less screen time.
Yeah.
And I do something creative every day.
Brilliant.
And they're like my 3 favourites. I also try and do something at least a little bit active every day.
Yeah.
Just gets you off the sofa.
Absolutely. That's a great goal. And what about you, Debbie? What?
Carry on with the water. Yeah, I think I need to be a bit more active actually on the days we don't see you.
Yeah, and maybe we work on a Monday and a Friday, so maybe you can think of something that you both want to do on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or maybe think about focusing on flexibility on those areas that we've identified that we want to prioritize. You've got stretches now, so maybe you can help each other stretch.
Yes.
In the in-between days as well.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So, excellent. So was there anything else that, when you were thinking about this interview, anything else that you thought that you would want to share or say?
Just like to thank you actually.
Well, thank you.
Because even when we started to go back into the studio, where between lockdowns, like coming to you was our favourite days of the week. Like we used to be able to have a like proper chat, and it's just kind of like a relaxing thing that we always used to look for. Obviously, we still do, but we look forward to every week. Like Monday, Friday, Paula. So yeah.
Brilliant. Well, that's really, really kind. And I think also what was different last year when we did come back to the studio was we had to work outside.
Yeah.
So that was different again, wasn't it? We were under the gazebo, trying to stay in the shade, and but that was fun again, and helped us work in a different way again.
Yeah, like you say, it's being inventive with what we've got, basically.
Absolutely. So, well, thank you both so much for sparing your time and answering some questions and sharing your stories. And I'll check in with you on Friday to see if we've got those goals. And have a fantastic week.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.